Hi, how's everyone? Thanks for coming back. Hi, and welcome if you are new. I'm glad you found me. We've got the moon reading today. It's going to be a full moon in Aries, in tropical, and in Pisces in sidereal. So I do have a little bit of a write-up. It's going to be quick. We don't have to skip ahead. So in tropical astrology, you've got the moon at 10 degrees Aries in opposition to the sun at 13 degrees Libra. In sidereal, we have the moon at 15 degrees in Pisces in opposition to the sun at 19 degrees in Virgo. So, in tropical astrology, Aries and Libra are opposite but complementary energy. So, outwardly, that's the tropical energy. Outwardly, we may be in an energy of giving attention and balance. That's the Libra energy to our relationships, but the moon in Aries is balancing that with more care and emotional growth to ourselves. Okay. I want to remind you that Chiron is in Aries also. So the moon is going to be moving past a deep wounding that we have in our psyche. This usually comes from a wounding that maybe was done to us that we didn't control. Chiron's story is that first he was abandoned by his mother, then he was injured by a friend, and that injury was enchanted so it wouldn't heal, but he was a god or a half god, so he couldn't die. So there's real Chiron brings an energy of really exploring where we've been hurt that we can't heal for ourselves. And a lot of times we'll turn that outward towards trying to help people overcome it in themselves. But it's kind of it's not dangerous, but it's kind of a concern, especially here with Libra involved, where give a little too much to other people because we want so much to be healed that we put all that effort into others so that we can get that healing back for some reason. But Aries energy with the moon here and with Chiron here is reminding us that we can only heal ourselves by healing ourselves, you know? So yeah, in sidereal astrology, that's the inner energy. Inwardly, Virgo and Pisces are also opposite but complementary energy. So inwardly, we're facing a pull to be practical and organized and realistic. That's that Virgo energy. But we may be cynical and reserved about things, wondering to which concerns do we dedicate our service and attention. Full moon in Pisces is bringing deeper empathy, creativity, and sensitivity to guide our hearts towards more intuitive spiritual approaches. Okay, so this full moon reading will involve Aries, Libra, Pisces, and Virgos, and I will put that in the description. So to do this reading, oh, there's a crow outside. Caw, caw, caw. Boy, he's loud. I'm drawing a blank as to what that may mean right now. He's still going. There's a crow being very loud outside. So, crow or raven energy is bringing messages, usually from the other side, or guiding somebody towards. I'll look it up. I'll look it up later. Anyways, for the moon reading, what I did was I shuffled the deck. And then I go through and I look for the moon and I pull the card in front of it and the card behind it. Okay. The card in front of it will be what's out in the open, and the cards behind will be kind of like what the moon is trying to shed light on. Okay. It's like the outer and the shadow. Okay. On one side of the moon and the other. And then I pulled clarifiers. This is a really interesting one. So in front of the moon here, out in the open, we had the Emperor. Aries energy, here you are, Aries. This could be any Aries placements, okay? This is always for any placements. We all have the signs somewhere. So if you have Aries in your third house, the moon is in Aries right now, this is how you're going to be communicating to people, okay? If you have Aries in the seventh house, like the Libra energy, the moon is in Aries, and your Aries is in your seventh house, this may revolve around relationships, okay? So yeah, this is for the collective. We have Emperor energy here. This is you, Aries. And then I asked for clarification because this is somebody who's really strong and honorable and a leader. But I mean, Aries, that's that fire energy. It can be somebody who's also very egotistical. That did not come out in the reverse. So this is an upright emperor. Um, but when I asked for clarification, we got the Magician in the upright. We got the Seven of Pentacles reversed and the Three of Swords. Okay, this is, I mean, there was uh there was an opportunity here, an ambition here. There was something started, but then it was neglected, and then there was now he's up his butt about it. Now he's butthurt about it. Okay? Magician, something manifesting. It's in the upright. There was energy put into this. There was something started. There was something intended. There was a plan, there was skill put into this. And then the Seven of Pentacles, wah wah, and then like they changed their mind, they totally turned their back on it, they neglected it, they didn't put any effort into anything. This says neglected projects, and skirting responsibilities. It's just this, it doesn't feel like he was honest with somebody or some, you know what I mean? And then there's that Three of Swords. It caused a heartbreak, it caused butthurt. uh, so they're giving me a feeling of this person kind of just expected it to work without any effort, right? Breadcrumbing. There was an initiation. That's the word I was trying to look for earlier. There was something initiated. Something was sparked, right? There was some kind of intent put into something, and then nothing. And then that led to Three of Swords, that disappointment. Yeah, heartbreak and loss. It's not just heartbreak though. It's disappointment. This is damage. Something was damaged, you know? And like I said, that feels like that Chiron energy, that wounding in the identity, Aries energy, the Emperor, the wounding, that Three of Swords, but it feels almost self-inflicted. There was no effort put into something that absolutely had the spark to be successful if you just put in the effort. Okay, there was no effort here, and now they're butthurt about it. It's either their butthurt or now their actions have caused damage to some kind of relationship. I'm still feeling this is self-inflicted. I'm feeling this is an inner relationship. I still feel like they broke their own heart. Now, the moon energy, for clarifiers, we got the Hierophant in the reverse, the King of Cups in the reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So this moon energy is coming in with Taurus energy. This is dogma and extremism. So maybe somebody was very, very rigid in the way they wanted to deal with things. Because we got the King of Cups in the reverse. Usually in the upright, the King of Cups is a very emotionally mature individual who has all his emotions accounted for and acknowledged and experienced, but he doesn't let them rule him. But this King of Cups in the reverse feels like it's raw. There was raw hurt emotions here. Okay, so it led to them being kind of withdrawn, not very open to people. Hard-hearted, that's what it was. Hard-hearted. So there was some kind of dogma here. I remember I always say with Taurus energy, with that Hierophant energy, you have to strip away the dogma in order to get to the truth. What are you still being bound? What are you still bound to with, I heard tradition, but it's made a tradition because it's an accepted form of conduct within this person. It could be you, it could be somebody that you're dealing with. But this is somebody so set in their ways, right? That they actually turn off their heart. This is under the moon. This is the deception and the illusion. Okay? So somebody is hard-hearted about this. And then we have this sweet Queen of Pentacles here in her upright. She's industrious and she's meticulous and practical, but she's also very generous. You know? She's also very generous, very jovial almost. Capricorn energy is very reliable and sweet energy. So there was some deception here underneath this strict cynical dogma with a king that had turned his heart off. And then we got this sweet Queen of Pentacles here, kind of just sitting here alone in her principles. I think that's what the moon is shedding light on. I heard he never intended to open up. That's unfortunate. It was, and I didn't get that because the Emperor here is in his upright energy. So that means he's honorable. So maybe this is just fear here. That the king was not honorable. That's not what I'm getting though. We'll keep going. Then on the other side of the moon, in the shadow, we have the world in the reverse. Okay? Then underneath that, with the clarifiers, we got judgment in the reverse. And all I heard was, here we go again. This is cycles coming back around. Something that somebody doesn't want to put in the ground. Something somebody does not want to end. The world in the upright usually means a culmination of a cycle and you reap your rewards. Okay? But in the reverse, it's like you missed the ending and it's got to come back around again. So you put yourself right back on the wheel. Then we had the Two of Swords clarifying that Gemini, Libra energy, trying to use wisdom in order to make this tough decision, not really hearing anybody else's opinions on it. That's what the blindfold is for. And the Two Swords crossed in front of her is not only is she's about ready to make the decision, but she's protecting herself, protecting herself from other outside input. Okay, this is somebody who's really deeply considering how to move because this is someone stuck between a rock and a hard place. And they're facing their fears here. Then here we have that judgment in the reverse. This is repeating cycles. You got the world in the reverse saying, here we go again, and judgment in the reverse saying, repeating cycles. This is poor judgment. Poor judgment and repeating cycles. That's the fear. Okay. Yeah. And then you have the Seven of Cups. I'm sorry. The Six of Swords in the reverse. This is not moving on. Difficulty moving on. And looking back. So, oh, dang it. It fell. Hang on. So I think what the moon is trying to bring out in the shadow, what was the shadow here? Was that Sidereal? That's Virgo and Pisces? Excuse me. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to, somebody in the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust my chair. Excuse me. I don't mean to be making weird noises here. Oi, hey. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, we can do that. In the tropical, maybe? Here we've got that emperor who didn't put any effort into something. I heard it could even be himself. herself. It could be a feminine. There's, of course, feminine Aries, but fire and air are masculine energy, and water and earth are feminine energy. So with the air, with the Emperor here, I also, however, do give the Emperor a little bit to Capricorn, even though Capricorn's feminine aspects. Um, to me, Aries seems a little bit too young to be an Emperor right away. So I often give the Emperor to Capricorn. It's um, the last of the kings. Before the Emperor is the King of Pentacles. So I do give the Emperor a little bit to Capricorn. But Capricorn's like, because he's in his upright, so that means he's in an honorable position. But he just put no effort into this. Again, though, this with this Aries energy, remember Chiron is there, so I feel like whatever this heartbreak was kind of self-inflicted because somebody didn't put any effort into something. Okay? So then in the heart space, there was this extremist feeling of pulling back on the heartstrings. Like, this is somebody who became very hard-hearted about it. I heard because they felt they deserved something they didn't earn. But the Queen of Pentacles isn't in the reverse, but the King of Cups is. Hang on, I'm asking if these are two different people. For some, yes. Now, this Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, she's under the moon here with this King of Cups that won't show her any love because of some kind of extremist, like, dogma here. And then we have here in the shadow the revelation that this has come around before. This is not new. This is a cycle that you have to pull yourself out of. And we don't have the devil here, so I don't see anybody lifting those chains just yet. This is just the realization that not ending this cycle has now put you between a rock and a hard place. But there is that six of swords in the reverse, having trouble. Yeah, having trouble moving on. I feel like there's misplaced hope in this category here. Because everything points to this was neglected to the point of it died. Whatever this situation was. It was neglected to the point where it just withered on the vine. That's that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. And that came out yesterday in the Cancer reading. Was it the Cancer reading yesterday? We had the Seven of Pentacles on the backside, and it was a dead bush. And there's somebody sitting there going, I don't know why it didn't grow. Maybe if I just sit here and stare at it, it'll fix itself. It'll grow. No, now we realize, now we find out it's because there was no effort put into growing anything. It was just expected that it would happen, you know? And again, I feel like this is a cycle that's coming back around. Or somebody's stuck in. Expecting, yeah, because this is, I keep bumping these cards, because this is an inner failing in some, well, I hate to say it like that, because that's that Taurus energy, that Hierophant in the reverse. The Hierophant keeps you stuck in tradition, okay? In the upright, it's supposed to be very spiritual tradition, but it's very strict nonetheless. In the reverse, this is talking about making you feel guilty because the certain way you did it didn't work. Because with the Hierophant, it's always, this is the way it's done because this is the way it's always been done. And it's always been done this way because this is the way it works. But when you don't put any effort into anything, and it doesn't work, then there's those feelings of, why didn't it work? It was just supposed to work, right? Without any effort. Now somebody's in their feels about it. Why should I put in effort? And then you've got that sweet Queen of Pentacles here, and she represents somebody who is just all effort, right? And I'm hearing, because what are you going to grow if you don't water it? And that's what the Queen of Pentacles is. She's like in a full lush garden. She's above the Nine of Pentacles, which is the baby empress, which I don't know why they don't call the Queen of Pentacles the baby. Well, because maybe she's not a baby. But the Queen of Pentacles is the last queen before the empress proper. So she's sitting here looking at this king who's hard-hearted about, just butthurt about losing, because the tradition was he wasn't required to put any effort into it. It's never been done that way before. It's always worked. Why should I change it? That Taurus energy in the reverse. That fixed Taurus energy. And you got the Queen of Pentacles here in that Capricorn energy, and she's like, because you have to put effort into life. Otherwise, you won't have anything to share. That's where she's sitting on her throne with her big pentacle, and she's looking at her bag like, yeah, bitch, you put effort into it and it grows. And this this Pisces over here, this King of Cups in the reverse, is like, well, I didn't want to have to put any effort into it. That was the delusion, that he didn't have to put any effort into it. Okay? Now, like I said, in the shadow, we've got that World in the reverse, and it says, here we go again. And now it's like back on the ride. You know, do you want to put effort into it or not? Well, I don't think I should have to put any effort into it, you know? So now I feel like this on the shadow side is where the viewer may resonate. Now you're in a position of not knowing what the fuck to do. You've got that Two of Swords, that indecision, this Gemini energy. Two of Swords in between a rock and a hard place, trying to, figure out what the fuck and make a decision. Because Judgment in the reverse. This is a recurring cycle. And then Six of Swords in the reverse that you're really having trouble moving on from. Okay? So we're going to get an Ancestor Oracle message for you, for the collective. So let's see the signs that we have here. We've got the Magician, that's you, Aries. We've got the Emperor, that's you, Aries and Capricorn. We've got the Moon, that's Cancer and Pisces. We've got the Hierophant reverse, that's Taurus. King of Cups, Pisces. Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn. The World is the 4 fixed signs: Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. And Judgment, I don't think has a designation. Okay. Let's please get an oracle message for the collective here in this moon reading. Thank you very much. Oh shoot. Okay. It fell down. And we have the Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts. Now, that is very moon energy. Damn it, I keep hitting things. I am extremely clumsy. Hi, I'm a Libra. Very afflicted Libra. Usually we're very concerned with balance and poise. No, I am a hot mess. I am a walking disaster. Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts. So let's read from the book. This might take me a minute. There we go. All right. Trust your instincts. It says, trust the powerful animal spirit within you to learn more about yourself and your talents. Hey. So what animals do we have on the card? We've got the owl. We've got a raven. Oh my God, we got 2 ravens actually. And didn't we just hear the raven earlier in my reading? We do have eagle wings. We've got butterfly feathers. So we've got butterfly and deer. So maybe, and I think we have stag, because we've got like deer horns, but the buck's horns. So we've got owl, stag, raven, eagle, butterfly, and deer. Those might be animals that resonate for you. The message is you have a powerful animal within you. Oh, that can be wild or protective, instinctive, and even calm. Oh, that's the deer energy. Okay. Animals don't second guess how they feel, they just express it, and you can learn from that. Okay, remember, this is a moon reading, so this is about deep feelings and instincts and intuition and things like that, you know? So take the time to connect with your inner animal energy and express it naturally. Let even the fiercest energy move through you before returning to your usual state, natural state. It'll teach you a lot about your gifts and how you can grow. We will get where is that deck? Let's get some final advice cards here. The theme deck. Oh, okay. So they're telling me that this is supposed to go along with that moon energy, that instinctive energy. They're trying to tell somebody who's stuck in this cycle, use your instincts here, okay? And you can even use your instincts and, I heard use your instincts and face reality here. If you go back around with this cycle, are you going to put any effort into this? Are they? Because I don't know I don't know how you're going to resonate, which side you see for yourself. So, I mean, this could absolutely be you, viewer. The emperor who didn't put any effort into something and then broke his own heart. But it's more like that Chiron energy, that wounding that prevented you from investing in anything. Remember the Seven of Pentacles? The Pentacles talks about investment, not just money, time, effort, attention, dedication to yourself and your projects. And that's that Magician energy, the project. Okay, so maybe this is you, viewer. Maybe you're the emperor in upright good energy, but you didn't put any effort into something. And it's either because of this inner wounding or, yeah, it's because of that inner wounding. Okay, they're telling me give this example real quickly. I'm sorry, I know I'm running long. Some of us in the 70s were born with Chiron and Aries, okay? I'm part of that group. And it's a wounding in self-worth and self-initiation. Okay, it's also some health issues, but this is more of like a wounding in self-worth. Okay, it's an effort. So how does that manifest? Do you know why these videos come out at 8 o'clock at night? It's because I am an anxiety-ridden ball of raw nerves all day before I intend to record. And it's that performance anxiety of the Chiron and Aries. Aries are very competent and very confident in themselves. It's your spark, okay? It's your spark of identity there, that Aries energy, your vitality, your ambition. And it's not that I don't have it, but I have crippling anxiety within it. And it takes me up to 8 hours to do all of the weird little OCD rituals that will calm me down enough to record by 6 o'clock. So that's what this kind of feels like for me. There's an emperor here, emperor energy in there upright. I have good intentions. I'm honorable. I'm knowledgeable. I want to be a good leader. I want my messages to come across so that people can find value in the message and in themselves. But magician is the intent. The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse is the neglect. That's the stalling. And the Three of Swords is the damage done from the anxiety of having Chiron in Aries. Okay? And that's what I was talking about with the moon being in Aries, and it's going to be conjunct with Chiron in like a day. Okay. They just wanted me to clarify that. Let's get some final. Oh, see that North Node wanted to come out. What are you doing here? Got a place card from a different deck in this one. Okay, can we clear the energy, please, and give me, okay, third party. Interesting. Pincushion. Concentration. So this third party, usually it comes out for love readings that there may have been a cheater, a third party, somebody creeping. There's too many fingers in this pie. But I feel like maybe in this case that it has to do with outside influences taking some kind of energy or attention away from something that was trying to be manifested. If you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, here we've got the pincushion. It's talking about precision on projects and concentration. Yeah, that goes right there with the Magician and the Emperor. Concentration, projects, that Magician card, and precision. It also talks about warding your, how did they say this? Warding your, okay, this is going to get kind of intricate, bear with me. Warding your creations. Okay, now warding is just another way of saying throwing protection on. Okay, I'll give a visual example for any fandom nerds out there that ever watched the WandaVision show with Scarlet Witch. She had a fight at the end. I'm going to spoil it. It's already a couple years old. Deal with it. She had a fight at the end where she kept throwing magic past her opponents into the surroundings around her. And I knew instantly when I saw it that she was throwing wards. And what wards do is they run a protection barrier around what you are doing. Okay, so when it's talking about wards here with the pincushion, in the old days, needles were made of iron, and iron is very protective energy. So as you were stitching protection into your projects. So this coming here next to the Magician and his projects and concentration here with the Emperor, they're saying that whatever you create, you must protect. And that wasn't happening with that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. They're also talking about precision, and that's very Virgo energy. Can we get some more messages here, please? Chiron, there it is, the wounded healer. The teacher showing where you need to sacrifice. There's healing. There's an inner wounding here. It's calling for stability and talking about perceived failures. Remember my example of how long it takes me to record? To me, it's a failure every day. And I still do it because I really want to get better. So Chiron is talking about perceived failures and betrayals. Perceived. Remember, we're also dealing with moon energy here, which is the energy of deception and illusion. What is the truth about these failings? Are they your failures? Or are they imagined? I have 777, a divine path. You are right where you should be and are serving your divine purpose. And pay attention to the red flags. I feel it goes over here because the red flag here is getting stuck back in that cycle. I heard it doesn't work, and then you go back into yourself, judging yourself with that Two of Swords, judging yourself, judging everything, like looking meticulously at why it could have gone wrong. What options do I have? What options did I have then? What can I do? This is just bogged down in what could, what should, what would. Pay attention to the red flags. You give too many fucks. That hasn't come out in a while. I think somebody needed to hear that. Yeah, like that goes along with my example. Like, because I'm frozen in fear because I'm first of all, I'm a quadruple Libra, so I need to be very meticulous about things. Capricorn rising, got to be very meticulous about things. So the Chiron in my Aries is the whispering word, the whispering voice, the Grima worm tongue. What makes you think whatever you say is going to help somebody? And the reason that's so important is because of that Chiron in Aries, because that's how I will heal. That's how the help will come to me, is if I can help others, right? So that may resonate with some people out there. You've got the blocks. Okay, go back to basics. That could be with this judgment in reverse, that cycle coming back around, and the world in the reverse. Here we go again. It's saying go back to the basics. Okay, if you have, and if this is a cycle that's restarting, go back to the basics. I heard purge the habits and actions that you used. Purge the habits that didn't work. 888, you are supported. Walk your path confidently. Abundance is ready. Put in the work. We also got the card called Fruition. I don't have reversals in this deck, but it came out in the reverse. This is the Seven of Pentacles. We got the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse twice. So this says that which you planted, intended to, is ready to harvest, or nearly, but it was in the reverse. So that means you ain't getting shit. I'm sorry that came out so harsh. Just a couple more and we will end it. Okay, clouds. Clouds hasn't come out in a while. This is confusion. I feel like this goes with the moon. Unclarity, hidden secrets, doubts, misunderstandings, insecurities. Bam, that's the Emperor here with that Chiron energy. And not enough information, okay? And then hydrate, meditate, eliminate. Drink, think, and poop. Okay, that I feel like should be over here by go back to the basics, because that's basics. Drink water, think deeply, move your bowels, have a poop, right? I think I'll end it there. I do like this deck at the end because it does sometimes bring a little bit of lighthearted cards out here, like this one, the finger, you give too many fucks. So this is getting up your own ass about that Chiron energy, about things holding you back. Or that, yeah, things holding you back in old cycles that prove not to bring anything to fruition for you, okay? That's what I have. What do we got scheduled for tomorrow? Tuesday, I think, is Hidden Truth Tuesday. So we'll do the Hidden Truth reading tomorrow. I'm so glad you held with me. If you made it to the end here, please leave me a thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe. That costs nothing and it boosts my views, or it boosts me in the algorithm. Or share my video. I am available for personal readings and birth chart inquiries, and my details are in the description. You'll find my email, Venmo, and Cash App. If you got this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. Until I see you again in the next reading. Okay, thanks, bye.